Okay, this is 4-94. This is an interesting problem. In the textbook, it defines as P is going to be the integral between your yield stress times dA. Okay. Now the solution manual is kind of strange about this. It doesn't do a very good job explaining this. So if you notice right here, when you integrate the dA and you multiply it by this, you get the volume of all this right in here. Okay, the solution manual again did a lousy job. So what you want to do is you want to count how many squares you have. And again, this is a little bit arbitrary, but you'd get going down, you'd have basically 1, 2, 3. You got a half here, half here. So what's that give you? 1, 2, 3. It gives you 4. Here you got 8. Okay, and then you'd have to kind of count how these would go. Actually, you end up with about 10, and that's where they got 10. So the first thing I do is count the number of squares. So we'd have 10 squares. Let me do that in black. So if this is a test question, you count the squares. Now what you're going to do is you're going to find out what the area, or well, actually what the volume of one square was going to be. It has a width of 3, so we're going to multiply it by 3, and that's KSI. You're going to multiply it by the height, which is 1. And then you're going to multiply it by the thickness, which is 0.5. Okay, so again, that is, just kind of draw it. That's the volume, I'll do it in red. That's the volume of one of these little squares. That's all you're doing. So if it's a test question, they may change it, and you may have to count different number of squares. But again, you're going to do the same thing. Multiply it by this, by the width, the height, and the thickness. And that's what this part is right here. When you do that multiplication, you will basically get, that's what, 5 times 3. That gives you 15, and it's going to be kips, which you can write as either 15,000 pounds or 15 kips. Okay, so that's your load. So that's all you're going to do if you have a test problem like that. Now, all you're going to do now is to find out what the average stress is going to be. And the average stress is going to be the 15 kips, or 15,000 pounds, divided over the cross-sectional area that this load operates. So this is 4, the thickness is 0.5. Okay, when you do that, I think you're going to get like 7,500 pounds, or 7.5 KSI. And let me change that to, let's see, no, that's right. Okay, we're fine. Okay, now we know by definition that K is equal to the max over the average. To find your max, it's going to have to be given. Your max is going to be this value here, which is the furthest out. So we put 12 KSI divided by the average stress, which is 7.5. You do that division, that solves for K, and that gives you a value of 1.60. And that's all you got to do with that problem. Okay?